Well, hi everybody, and welcome back. I want to point out that the purpose of my channel is certainly to help you grow spiritually and to provide some information about what it is to grow spiritually, how to do that, as I already have, what mediumship is, meditation, getting in touch with your inner self. But living a spiritual life means living a spiritual life. It isn't relegated simply to meditation. It's not simply relegated to giving messages and acting as a medium. It is living and breathing and thinking and being aware of who you are and how you are interacting every minute of every day. So I hope to impart some of those thoughts and concepts on some of these videos in this channel as well. So one of the things I wanted to talk to everybody today about is about justification. Now, there are certainly times in our lives that we are required, we are indeed asked to justify our behavior or to justify our comments. Why did we do what we did or say what we did at that time? And that's a fair question, especially in the context of trying to understand how a circumstance unfolded. But when justification can become a negative, that is when you have done something that maybe it wasn't your most perfect moment. Maybe you were being judgmental, or maybe you were, I don't know, maybe you took advantage of some circumstance in some way just because it wouldn't hurt anybody, you didn't think. It was just going to be this small little thing that nobody would mind if you benefited, but you just kind of did something. Anyway, so you do something that you know in your core isn't exactly quite right. But then what you do is you justify. You justify why you did that. So it's either because, oh, well, that person said something mean to me before, or I don't like how things are going and that person crossed my path at the wrong time, and so it's their fault, or, well, everybody else does it. Those kinds of justifications are not going to help you get ahead spiritually. They might help you in that moment feel a little bit better about yourself, or be able to feel sometimes maybe even a little bit superior over somebody or some circumstance or some situation. But at the end of the day, if you stop and you think and you reflect before you act, are you going to be satisfied with that long term? In the short term, maybe you feel really good and you got one over on somebody, and look at you, you're better than them. But does that really matter in the scheme of things? When you're at rest, when you're meditating, or when you're just going off to sleep at night, do you feel like you're a better person yourself, personally, inside, because of your action? Or was it just like, well, yeah, but I sure showed them? We're all guilty of doing that, but it does not make us the better human being. Sometimes absolutely, there's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself and not compromising your beliefs or your morals or your ethics. But you can do that without justifying negative behavior, negative reactions. We all do it, but if you're trying to be mindful each and every day, that you're trying to become a better person spiritually, that you're trying to connect with the greater good and the energy as a whole, and remember that sometimes people just have a bad day. They might be a perfectly wonderful person, the person that you interacted with that you acted negatively to, and now you're justifying it because they pushed me first. Well, maybe they didn't push you on purpose. Maybe they tripped, or maybe they were in a bad mood, something happened, maybe they had suffered a loss in their life and they were just inside themselves and they weren't focused and they banged into you. Try to be aware before you judge and before you justify any negative behavior. It'll make you feel better at the end of the day. Thanks for listening. See you next time.